need to grab my things.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the AnCan Art Friends. We are always glad to have you here. And Hannah, Amari, a little spooked. Please
Good.
guide us and
Good.
help
I'm
us
glad.
to what we are going to be doing
Yes.
tonight.
Yes. This is going to be a magical, mystical night with witches. We're going to get to paint witches today. And bats, witches and bats, and a cauldron, and some magic flying out of it, and some pumpkins on the side, and a cemetery on the side, and of course, some spooky trees. And if you want, you could put an owl in there too.
What about a
You know,
spaceship? There's
you
always
could
a
do
spaceship.
yes,
There
yes.
has to be a spaceship.
I'm doing a spaceship, okay? So this is a very magical painting. So please have fun with it. I have to say, if you have glow in the dark paints, that would be great. Like it'd be a great addition. I did not use any glow in the dark paints for this one, but again, if you have them, I'll teach you how to use them. We can use those later. If you have neon paints would be amazing for this too. Both of those, glow in the dark or neon paints, I will use those much later because if you add any other colors to them, they may not show up in all of their magnificence and glory. So don't do it until much later. So I guess I can just kind of dive into what we need today. I hope you guys have fun. I'm so excited for Halloween. I have my little witchy earrings on today too. So they're little Ouija boards and moths. I think they're moths. So anyway, let's do this, guys. So I have my canvas here. What you see here is actually 9 by 12 canvas, but use whatever size you have. Okay, I happen to have an 8 by 10. Thank you, Tia. Thank you for the compliment on the chat. Um, yeah, so I have an 8 by 10 here. I'm gonna go ahead and use that because it's there. So anyway, as for brushes, so my brushes, I want a larger one, just something to get that huge moon in the sky. So this is gonna be a 3/4 inch, but anything that's similar is just fine as long as it's flat. I know that I've filled out the backgrounds before with this kind of brush. Again, as long as it's flat, it doesn't matter. But anyway, I have this one. And then I also have something a little bit thicker for the trees. This one is probably a bit too big. I couldn't find like my in-between brush. I don't know. This one's a size 6, so maybe if you have like a size 4, I guess a 6 is okay too. But size 4, something around there is also good. Something medium size. Here's one. Here it is. There's a good one. And then also a tiny brush. Okay. So if you have like a size 0 or a size 2 at the most, that's what we want. Right? I don't know if they make like smaller brushes than that. Get your smallest brush. Okay. We're going to need the smallest one in order to do all these little tiny details like the bats, our little witch here and everything else that is tiny. Okay, so those are our main brushes. If you find anything else that just happens to work for you, then use that too. Okay, I'm not gonna like restrict you on anything. Okay. Somebody mentioned doing aliens. I will totally teach you guys how to paint aliens like we always do in the background. Um, as for colors, I haven't even gotten my colors out yet. Of course, we want our white paint, of course. We need a good amount of that. And then, of course, we want black paint. You need a good amount of that too. And then choose your magic colors. So what colors are your orbs going to be? What color is the magic that's flying out? The sparks that are flying out from the cauldron. What color are those? I have lime green and yellow right here. So you don't have to use those unless you really, really want to. I have my neon colors, so maybe I'll use those. Maybe I'll use green because I really love green in there, but I'll figure out a neon to use later. We also want our moon color. So our moon and our sky, 2 different colors. I know it might be kind of hard to see, but this is actually a teal. So you guys know I love using teal in my paintings. So have that ready. A teal or a light blue, either one will work. I've put this picture through like a filter, like a digital filter on Canva, and it changed the moon into like a green, so it gave it a green glow. So that's an idea. You can always have a green glow around it as well. And that went really well with the purple, actually. It was arguably more spooky, actually. So there's that. I've got my moon glow color, got my sky color, and I think that's it. It's pretty simple as far as colors go. Um, of course, we want our water, and of course, we want our napkins. So be sure to have those. I always use my napkins all the time. I think that's it. I think I got everything. I mean, if you want glitter, you can use glitter too. I just can't find my glitter. It's somewhere around here. Any questions? Anything at all? All right. Okay. Let's do this. I'm still looking for my neon colors. They'll show up. They'll show up magically. They always do. Okay, so let me go ahead and get my little palette. That's another thing you'll need if you have a palette. So a palette or maybe like a paper plate, preferably a foam plate, something that is non-porous. That's all. So I'm going to pour out my sky color. So this is purple. Actually, I don't really think I need that much. I'm going to pour out black. And then also white. And then my glow color. So I guess that leaves everything. Everything except for the magic colors, like the orbs. So I'll put my moon glow color over here. And then plenty of white. Now, what I am going to do is just kind of speed through the background, just because there are a lot of smaller elements in here that you might want to take your time on. The dots, for example, you wouldn't think so, but they actually took me a while to do. I always say dots just drive me crazy. So keep that in mind. The dots just dotting them little by little, but also also smushing them out so that they're more orb-like. I should mention too, now that I say this, if you want to use a glove, you certainly can use a glove, because I'm going to be actually finger painting a little bit. Whenever I do the orbs in the background, some of my dots, I'm going to squish them and swirl them. So if you want gloves, you can use gloves. If not, just keep a little baby wipe nearby or just your napkin. I think in theory you can also use a Q-tip. I haven't tried it, but I think you can use a Q-tip on that part too. So anyway, I'll repeat that later. Where was I? Okay. So I kind of want to just go a little bit quicker. Maybe not speed through it, but just go a little bit quicker on the background. Because again, there's a lot that I want you guys to take your time on. There's a lot I want to teach you because, of course, I want to teach you how to do bats the right way and all this stuff. Okay. So with that being said, let me get my canvas. We're going to use white paint first. We're going to be putting white paint in the center. So it might be kind of hard to see unless you just kind of like shift your focus or shift your head a little bit. But we're going to start with white in the center. We're going to make it bigger, make a big white circle. And then after that, we're going to add our glow color. So for me, that's going to be the teal. We'll add our glow color and then we'll blend from there. Okay. So there's my painting. Any more questions before I begin? You guys all right? Okay. So I have my big brush. So whatever is your flat brush. And I'm just gonna grab a little bit of water in my brush, just kind of a little water in there. Not a whole lot of tap some in, tap some off. And I'll just kind of mix or put that white paint in my brush, just kind of work it in there. So I've got a good amount. So that blending that you see, that nice even blending, that happens when the paint is wet. And that's another reason why I'm kind of going to go kind of fast with it, because I don't want it to dry too much. So I'm going to start in the middle here, and I'm going to start to use the flat side of my brush, just kind of paint it. Paint it out, starting from the center, smoothing it out as I go along. We will put a little bit of texture later in a little bit, but for now, just smooth it out. So it's a pretty big moon already. Be sure to use enough paint on there because, again, we want it to blend with our glow. Now, it's not perfectly round, and it's not, if you have it perfectly round right now, it's not going to stay perfectly round because we're about to add our teal to it. So I'll give you guys another moment to do that. Hope you've had a lovely week so far. It's Thursday. Thursday. Right. Just in a few seconds. Oh, cool. I see more people have joined us. Hello, guys. Okay. So it's still pretty wet, so let's keep it that way. I'm gonna keep that white paint on my brush. And actually, I'm actually just gonna grab a little bit more. So actually, let's go and grab some more white, and we're gonna double dip here. That's gonna allow us to make a smoother transition. So got some white, and let's double dip into our glow color. So for me, that's gonna be the teal. Now, if your color is any darker than this, then a little goes a long way. You can always add more. It's a lot harder to take some away. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It's easy to add more. It just requires a little more patience if you want to take away some. So I'm going to start outside of my circle. See, outside of my white area. And let's go ahead and just start to outline it. Swing this color around and notice how it is not perfect at all. You can break up your brush strokes if that helps you. I don't expect you guys to like go all the way around it in one brush stroke. And that I can't even do that. So just make a ring around it. I'm going to make a ring around the outside. And if you have an excess amount, like if you have a lot on your brush, then go ahead and wipe some of that off. I don't have a lot on my brush, so I don't have to wipe it. I am going to go back into my white paint here. We're reversing. We're going back into white. Now, it's a good thing that I still have that little bit of teal on my brush. We want some of that. Right here where the two colors meet, I'm just going to start to go around it and go over my brush strokes just on the border. Again and again and again. If I press down harder, it kind of gives me like a harsher line. But if I hardly press down and just use the ends of my brush, that gently feathers it in. Now, it's still not a perfect circle, but you know what? That's okay. I can always, and I'll show you how to do this. I'll go back in and just add a bit more white paint, and that'll help to smooth it out even more. But I'm pressing down lightly, just using the very ends of the brush, and that helps to feather it in. Now, let's say, hypothetically, I had a little bit too much. Don't do that, okay? Y'all don't do that. I'm just putting that there so I can show you how to blend it, okay? If you have something like that where it's really harsh and it's not blending, then let's wipe off some of our paint on the brush. So I'm not going to rinse it, okay? I'm not going to rinse it. I'm just going to wipe it off. And because it's a harsher teal, I want to balance it with white. It's all about balancing when it comes to these things. So let's grab white now. And then on the border, so right there on the border, you can go over it again and smooth it out. You can even go out a bit, smooth it on out. Pressing down lightly. That white helps a lot. Now say, oh no, maybe like all of your pure white is gone. That's all right. We can always wipe our brush again. We can always add more pure white to it. Bring back that center by starting from the center. And again, just kind of adding it by working your way out. And it's all very wet. This is all wet paint, so that's good. That works to our advantage. That white paint is the universal blender. Helps to blend it all. A nice orb in the center. So you guys work on that, okay? Smooth it out. Let me know if you guys want me to take a look at it. While it's still wet right now, that's the perfect time to blend it. Y'all have questions? He's concentrating.
You're intentionally kind of making your circle. You're leaving that. I don't know how to say it.
Like making this,
like intentionally on top. It's not.
Oh, over here, yeah.
No,
I mean,
top. No, the other side. Up to the very top. Yeah, it's like
oh yeah,
part of the circle.
yeah. I mean, I don't want to squeeze it all in. Yeah, I don't want to squeeze it all in, and that just kind of happened here too.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's intentional. It's more just me going with the flow. Like if the moon is too big to contain, I don't want to contain it. I always like to find little ways to compromise with my pictures. Okay. Yeah, you'll keep smoothing it out as best as you can. Just again, if you didn't hear what I was saying about the glow in the dark paints and the neon paints, we don't want to use those just yet. Glow in the dark specifically is meant to go on top of things on top of your painting. So, and it's clear or mostly clear, so it easily can go on top of whatever you have. Neon paints, if you were to add any other color to them, it'll kind of diminish their glowing effect a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Now, whenever we start to move outward to the rest of the sky, let me show you the original. So here's the original. As you can see, our purple, it continues to move out here. And so even though we have black paint covering the bottom down here, I'm still going to go all the way to the edge with these colors because it's better to have more of that color just in case. So it's better to have more of that color. The black can easily cover over anything that's there. So I just don't like to mess with it later on once it's dry. I also would like to replenish some of that teal here. So in replenishing it, I'll be able to mix it in with the purple a little bit more easily. So I still have not rinsed my brush. I just kind of wiped it. And the whole reason I didn't rinse my brush is just because once you get water on there, it's really easy for you to accidentally wipe some of your paint away from the canvas. Um, I don't know, different brands are different. Some brands won't do that, but other brands do, and some colors will do that, but other colors won't. So I just don't rinse it. I just avoid rinsing it. So just wipe it on your napkin. Now I'm going to replenish that teal ring. So let's take some of that. Do you think we could put the mute on? It's because my brain is.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Okay, thanks. My brain is targeting towards whatever's on the TV. Okay, thank you. So I have my teal. Let's go ahead and put it on just on the outside because this what we already have is pretty well blended. So let's put the teal on the outside. I know I said replenish the ring, but it's okay. We're just putting it on the outside. This area right here, it is going to be mixed in anyway. So there we go. And if you don't have a perfect circle, because we're just putting a ring around it, that's okay. We can always go back to it. What I did now is I mixed a little in between color, in between purple and this teal. So just as a buffer, that's all. So I took my teal and now I'm going to take a little bit of my purple just as a buffer. And it doesn't need to be well mixed or anything. You can have little streaks. It's okay. You don't need a ton of it. Just, I don't know, 50-50, something like that. So I'll start on the outside. And let's go all the way around. Let's actually go on top of that ring. On that ring that you just put on there, let's go on top of that. And I am pressing my brush down. I need to grab a little bit more. Squishing my brush down, and that allows me to grab whatever is in the middle of the brush. And then in order to blend it, I can now that it's all the way around, I can now start to press down lightly, blend it the same way we did the center. See how I'm just pressing down lightly, feathering it in there, going all the way around. I want to look at my ring from afar because that'll allow me to make it more round. If you have a harsh line like I do, like right here, then again, we want to balance. So if you have a harsh line, let's balance it with teal because that's what we had before. So I've got my dirty brush, tap a little teal in there. And then again, balance it out. So I'm going to put it on the border. On the border there. Press down lightly. Keep going around. And you might have to do this like, I don't know, this blending dance, I suppose you could call it, where you might even have to add a bit of white to your brush now. Because now I have a harsh line of teal. And that's okay. You can just keep balancing it. Wipe your brush. That way you have a little less purple, a little less teal. You have more room for white. Just wipe it off. Balance it out with white. And I can do this while it's still wet. So again, start on the border. Brush it all around. Need to grab a little more. There we go. Start right there. Brush it all around. Press down lightly, especially as you go over those harsher lines. There we go. Now that looks much better. Now, there's no such thing as a perfect circle unless you're using an instrument, like some kind of tool. So do the best you can. And then once you're finished with the middle, we can start moving to the outside with purple, pure purple. Again, don't rinse your brush, although if you have excess any color, you can always wipe it. So wipe it off. And again, I apologize if I'm going too fast. I just don't want it to dry. That's all. I just don't want this area to dry. So I've finished finessing the middle part here. Now I don't have to worry about it. I can go straight into my purple, pure purple, and try and blend this outside area. And again, you will see a stark line, but we can balance it out with a little bit of teal. See how this area, it is a bit too dry, so I'll have to go over it again with some more teal, but at least I have the ring around it. It's a messy ring, but that's okay. Balance it out again with the teal. So I'm gonna tap a little teal, go on that border. A little bit goes a long way just because this area out here is supposed to be darker, so it's not really supposed to have a lot of teal, but that teal is necessary. At least some teal is necessary. So it's for blending purposes. So I'll take that, press down lightly, start feathering it in, grab some more teal when I need it, go right on the border, right where the purple touches the lighter area, right on that border, press down lightly, go over my brush strokes again and again and again, and grab a little more teal, go right on the border, blend it in by going over it again and again and again. And that's nicer. It's a nice stage. I have this area right here that's not exactly blended. I'm going to see what I can do to blend it for me. But if I can't get it, then that's okay. Just because it's already like pretty far in and I don't want to have to go over certain things many more times. But I'll see what I can do. I do need to pour a little bit more of my teal out. Come on. I use this color so often and shouldn't be surprised I'm running out. There we go. Just going to feather in a little bit of teal here. There we go. I'm getting some purple in there, but I think I'm going to balance that out. Again, with some more white paint. There we go. It's all in the brush stroke, so press down lightly. You can blend it in much more easily going lightly. Okay. That was a lot. I know that was a lot. We have one more step for the background. So don't worry about having a perfect circle right now, because again, we have that darker color. We have that black to add to the corners now. Like in here, I can see that my moon isn't exactly centered because there's more room for black paint here than there is over here on the opposite side. And that's okay. That's all right. I will work with it however I can. But again, I'm not going to finesse it too much, just because with the black paint, again, you'll have to work it in there a little bit more. So, again, I want to make a little buffer color. In the original, it's not even pure black paint that you see in the corners. It's a little bit of black paint mixed with purple. So it's like instead of being like a midnight blue, it's like a midnight purple. It's super dark. It's very dark purple. So we're going to mix that color. We're going to make that super dark purple. Our pure black paint is reserved for the trees and everything else, except for the orbs. So it's not pure black paint. We're going to make that buffer. We're going to make that midnight purple. So I have my wiped off brush and grab my purple. And actually, before I do any mixing, I'm actually just going to replenish some of this purple here. So right here on the border, replenish it. And that way we can mix pretty quickly. There we go. I'm not even going to bother with that section. Okay, so I have this. I'll grab a little tiny bit of black just on the corner of my brush. A little goes a long way. It's a very strong color. I say that, and now I have to add a lot more. See, it's a very strong color. Better to add a little bit than too much. That looks pretty good. And add a bit more purple. Okay. Once you have your in-between color, once you have your midnight purple, you take your midnight purple and start from your corners. So perhaps over here. And this corner right here, I'll just feather it in, press down lightly. Feather it in, press down lightly, just kind of take it down. Take it down here. Let's go ahead and fill in all the corners. Feather it once you go on top of the purple. So press down lightly. And again, to the other side. Press down lightly in order to attempt to blend it. I'm not going to go too close to the teal, at least not yet. Now, I guess I'll try to put some in my corner here, just to make it kind of even. Once you have all the corners, go ahead and just grab that extra purple on your brush. And for me, I need to pour some out, so just need a little bit more. We don't need a whole lot. If you have a ton of black or midnight purple on your brush, then of course you can wipe it off. That way it's not excessive, because we're going to try to blend it into the center. We want to blend it into that purple. So I'll take this right here. I don't have too much. Tap some purple on the end of my brush. And again, go right in between and feather it in. So I'm pressing down lightly. You don't have to worry too much down here. It's really just when you get a little closer to the orb that you want to press down more lightly. And if you need to go in and balance it out with some teal, maybe your purple's getting a little too close to the center. I'm doing that on purpose so I can show you guys what I mean. So if you're like that and you need to balance it out some more, then I would say you can rinse your brush, because it's black paint and we want to keep it really light, getting closer to the center. So when it comes to trying to blend in with the teal, you can rinse your brush. Just make sure to dry it off really well. So I'm taking my napkin and just kind of squeezing it. Very messy hands right now. I just painted my nails too. I knew this was gonna happen. Okay, I don't want it to get too wet, too dry. So I'm going to balance it out with a bit of that teal, and again, try to blend in by going over my brush strokes again and again and again. There we go. A little bit of teal went a long way. So that was really nice. Tap a little bit of teal. See, hardly anything. And that went a long way. So go right here. And as long as I can go over my brush strokes again and again and again, I can blend it. Let's see. Now I feel like I need to add at least for mine, I need to add a tiny little bit more purple to balance that part out. But as long as I can press down lightly, I'll be okay. Excuse me. I think I need more water. Okay, I know that was a wild ride. That was a lot of steps in a short amount of time. But it will all come into perspective once we get the trees and everything else on there. I'm going to add a little bit more midnight blue up here. I do want to balance that part out. I want to make it seem a little bit more centered. I'm trying. If anybody wants me to take a look at their picture, let me know. It helps to take a look at your picture from afar. So just kind of like sit up a little bit. I tend to crouch, I'm like crouching down on my picture. So just sit up a little bit and take a look at it from a small distance.
And shout so Alexa can spotlight you so Hannah can see.
Yeah. Let us know. Somebody show like holding up the
Say
picture.
it loud, you know.
Say it loud, say it proud.
That's right. I'm creating art.
There we go. That's better, It's not all going to be like 100% uh, put into a gradient. In fact, it's nice to have some of these little streaks, where we can see that texture. So once you have this outer ring blended in for the most part, you're good. You can rinse your brush. I probably should have.
My daughter wanted to see if there's something she can do for hers.
Yeah. Let's see.
She put it a little, it's upside down. There you go.
I like it. Yeah.
Is that okay?
That. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
did good. That's awesome. Lopsided. I like it. Anyone else? Cool. In a moment, I'll show you how to put just a little bit of texture in the middle. That's if you want to. I mean, you can have it like purely glowing like this if you want, but it's not a huge deal. This would definitely be after you're finished with the entire background. So you're done blending everything. We would switch to one of the round brushes and put a little bit of moon-like texture in the center. Very light though, like barely any color and mostly white. That way it's really blended in and it's more subtle. And again, it's just an option. I did rinse my brush off completely.
Are the colors written in the chat?
Yes, yeah, they are. Oops.
I will resend them right now.
No. I mean, I see them, but then you keep calling them something else, like the purple. I'm just.
Oh yeah.
I'm not finding the right purple. So
yeah, I think for you, if you could find I'll write it down.
No, I mean, I found the purple I want, but for some reason it's not behaving. So
Oh.
can you just say what kind of purple you're talking about?
Yeah, so I have I started out with a regular purple, but then I made it into a midnight purple.
Okay.
Yeah, so midnight
Even
purple is
though
the
it looks like
darkest.
more than two kinds of purples.
Really? Oh, yeah, I kind of see it because, yeah, that's just because of the mixing.
You
But
see
yeah, I
how your
can.
moon melts into the whole, like your moon. I'm trying to melt it in like you did. It looks really like it melts in, and mine still like looks like a round moon, and then stuff around it. It doesn't seem to melt in as nice as yours did.
What colors are making like harsher lines?
K- Um, I don't. Should I show you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's fine.
let's see it, Marcy.
Let me bring it so that you can see it.
Yeah, because I was thinking if I see which colors are making the lines. Okay, I see.
You see how
So,
you can see a defined moon where yours is like melts in. I've been trying to melt it in, but my moon got smaller and smaller as I tried to melt it, you know?
okay. See if you can balance it with white first. So what you'll do is clean your brush, okay? So either clean it or switch to a different one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then you'll take pure white. And then for you, I'm gonna actually try to recreate the line that you see. Because I do see like a gray line. Or did I see that right? It's like a, is it gray in the center?
Let me see.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit gray. It's almost as if you got a little bit of the darker purple, but mixed with white. I don't know if that's what actually happened,
Right.
but I'm gonna try to replicate that, okay? So everybody else, don't do this.
So I want to blend it like yours. You see how yours is like
Mm-hmm.
now it's gonna be like mine, you know?
Yeah, I'm doing that on purpose. So we want a clean brush. So I'm cleaning my brush off. And since yours is probably dry, I'm gonna wait a couple seconds for it to dry. So I'll walk you through how to blend it.
Okay, I'll get my white ready.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. So again, everybody else, don't do that.
And then get a white. Let me get a different one.
I'm thinking my first thought is that I will balance it with the white and the teal, a little bit of teal.
Oh, am I out of white?
You did use teal, right? For the
Yeah,
glow?
yeah.
Okay, good.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm white right now. Trying to find some white. Trying to go. I need to buy white, I think. Yeah,
Oh, I'm running out. Yeah.
I found some.
Yeah,
So
that's one of the colors. Well, I'll buy large amounts of white paint.
let's see.
Use
I've
it
got
all the time.
these and three of these and
Oh yeah, yeah, you have different brands that you're mixing and matching.
a couple of big ones I went through that like that. The taller ones.
Yeah, the tubes, yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay. All right. So I have a clean brush. I'll go ahead and add some white to my brush now. So I've got white and I am actually going to start just right outside where I want it to blend. And I want to press down lightly and see if that helps. Press down lightly, feather it in just the same way you're going to blend it. And we will balance it with the teal, but we want to see how much of that color we can cover with white. Even if that means you have to move outside just a little bit onto your teal space, that's okay. You can move on to the teal space here. Better to have more of that white paint than not.
okay.
So I need to pour out some more white myself. There we go. Okay. So yes, I want to add more on mine. because I see here that it's not quite rounded. Now, because I don't.
Starting to, is it starting to get better? Oh no, still looks a little.
Let's see, can you spotlight it, Alexa, so I can see it? Yeah, see, that's a lot better.
Getting a little better, right?
That's a whole lot better. What we can do now, while it's still wet, just to get rid of it a little bit more, is we're going to make an in-between color. We'll mix some teal with our white.
Okay.
So I don't have much space here, but I'll do my best. Maybe I'll put it here. So a lot of white, tiny bit of teal. A lot of white, tiny bit of teal. So just a very light color.
Let me get it lightened up a bit more. Maybe like almost white, huh?
Yeah, I would say almost white. And then for you, where you put your brush down might be a little different. I'm going to put it right here where I can still see that other color. And then go right on top of it. Same way with the blending, where I press down lightly, move a little towards the center. And for you, it depends on how far out you move. You may have to add a bit more of the teal now just to make this outer part blend. So it really just depends on how far you're going with it.
Right.
May have to add a bit of white, just depending on you. So for me, I definitely need more teal because that's really not blended. But again, I don't have to rinse my brush. I'm not going to. So in order for me to blend this teal, I'm going to balance it with teal at the end of my brush. Tap a little.
A little bit more of the white because when I added the teal, it's getting too much of that round shape again.
Okay, yeah.
So I think I'm going to go into the white again and see if I can feather it a little.
Yeah, feather it. But at least we're starting to get rid of that other color. So it's all about that blending. Yeah, see that makes me feel a lot better. Now that I see some of that dark color disappearing. Now I'm just talking out loud, okay? But for me, I can add a bit more of the white. I'm going to add that white right on top of this unwanted color. Feather it in. I've noticed, I don't know if you've noticed this or if it's happening to you, but I've noticed that the more I press down harder, the more that color resurfaces.
Right.
So
that's barely touching. Like, I think it's much better. What do you think? Or when I pick it up, it doesn't look that good.
No, yeah, it looks a lot better. It's more subtle now. Yeah, it looks a lot better now.
What was the color that didn't work?
She had a little bit of gray in the center, and I think
oh, okay. I
yeah.
that too.
Okay.
Otherwise I wouldn't be able to see what I was painting.
Yeah, you can always balance it out with the other lightest colors.
Videos on.
Yeah. So for everyone else, if you're finished with the background, then for you guys, you can actually move on to your pointy brush. If you really want to have some texture, I don't know, whenever I first did this moon, I did a very, very light amount of texture. You can't, honestly, you can't even see it on fixing the camera. But it's there. It's very light again. I used purple. So I want to make like a light color, a lilac color, very, very baby purple. So I need a little more white. So this is just if you want that little bit of texture. I'm going to take some of that white and I will go ahead and add just a tiny little corner, a tiny little bit of white to my little paint pile here. Just like a baby purple. we don't need a lot because I'm probably going to balance it out with even more white than what you see. So just wherever you want the texture to be. I think typically there's a lot of texture on the middle and like the bottom area of the moon. Just tap it in there. If you press down hard, you'll get a bigger tap, a bigger crater. Press down lightly, you'll get very light craters. So it's just a hint. Or even then, if you feel like it's too much, then balance it out with more white. So just kind of take some of that color and tap some white right on top. Definitely want to take that lilac color off my brush before I balance it. That's all we got to do. I don't want to put too many taps on here just because I want it to dry. And if it's a thicker amount of paint on top of it, then we'll have to wait longer before putting the trees in this area. So I wouldn't go overboard with it. I feel like I went overboard with it. So try not to. And that's why it's optional. So you don't have to do that part. Just very subtle. But you can rinse your brush after that because in a moment we'll be using, I would say probably our flat brush to make the bottom. So this earth on the bottom. It should be dry closer to the bottom here. And for that, we will use pure black. So for those who are completely finished with the background, you can actually put in the bottom portion at any time. So I'll use my flat brush and I'll start at my lowest point, and it's really easy to build up from there. So my lowest point is going to be in the center here because I want my witch and my cauldron to be there. And then I'll just kind of make some lumps for the hills. So, somebody have a question? So I'm not going to go too far. I am going to flatten out the paint. So it's not flatten, smoothen out. It's raised just a little bit closer to the corners because that's where the hills get a little bit bigger. But overall, it doesn't really take too much space. It's real easy to add more to your hills. Can't really take it away, so a little at a time. That was easy. Smooth it out. And this will hopefully give me enough time to, for my middle area, my texture to dry. Because the next thing we'll do is the trees. And actually, we'll really only be using black paint for a while. So we'll be using our pointy brushes, our smallest brushes. Oops, I need to rinse it again. Y'all doing okay? Let's concentrating again. Tia, I'm really glad to see y'all have power again.
That was horrible. It took 4 days, but we have power. Most of the grocery stores around here don't have any cold food yet. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I only got Zach.
Yeah, she got a cactus. That's all we bought because there was no frozen food, no cold food at all. It was all dry goods. So
And I need
all dry.
Yeah, we're just waiting for things to go back to normal. I think a couple more weeks. There's debris everywhere.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah.
It's a little wild.
Yeah. What was the name of the cactus again?
Zach.
Zach.
Yeah.
Zach.
Zach, it's our Zactus now. So
Zactus.
That's so fun.
Zach, just the cactus. Cute. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a lot to lot to live with. For anyone who doesn't know, she's in Florida, if that explains it.
Yeah, I'm in Tampa, so we were hit
Yeah.
fully by the Cat 4, but we got through it okay, just no power.
I'm glad that's the extent of it. That's really lucky. All right, y'all. So while you guys are finishing up wherever you're at, I will teach you how to start the trees. So we'll do the 2 trees first, and then we'll move to the center, everything else. Um, I always like to start at the tree trunks when it comes to my trees, because it's real easy to make them a little bit bigger, a little thicker, a little at a time. You can't really make them smaller, but luckily for us, we're going for more of a spooky vibe. So if they look a little wonky, maybe you're missing a branch or something, that's fine. That works out really nicely for this painting. So I'm gonna start out by using my next size down. So it's that size 6, I believe, round brush. So that'll be for the trunk area. And then as I move into the smaller the smaller branches, then I'll move to my smallest brush. So for trees, really anything that's supposed to be smooth, I like to mix a little bit of water. And I'm just gonna pour some more paint out, but maybe I'll wait. I have a little bit of paint out right here. I know it's hard to tell. And I'm gonna go to my water and just sift some of that water into my black paint area. So I don't know, just that much. It doesn't, you don't need a whole lot. Just enough to make it a little bit softer, silkier. Mix it all nicely. In order to maintain those smoother brushes, I am going to refill pretty often. And I like to kind of twirl my brush out and smooth it out a bit. Just kind of twirl it a bit. Now, again, it's really easy to make your trees skinnier, and really can't take it away. Can't really take away those lines once it's there. So just take your time with it. So they start on the bottom. You see how they flip the bottom? That's where I'm going to start. I'll start at the flare, and then it'll slowly get a little bit thinner till we get to the branches, and then they'll just get thinner and thinner from there. So start at the flare, pick a spot on the side, and maybe I'll do one side, and then I'll flare up the other side, smooth it all out. Now you don't have to get it all in one go. You can keep on just layering those brush strokes. I like to have my spooky trees be a little bit textured. So I'm gonna do here. Once you get further up, you'll want to split it eventually, so into a Y shape, and then do more branches coming off from the Y shape. So maybe from here, I think it's pretty tall enough right now, so I can split it off from here. So it's a Y shape. It's kind of moving up. One thing that I learned to do and that I love to do is taking my brush and spinning it. Like, see how I'm kind of twisting it in my fingers? I feel like that gives it more of like a spooky vibe. But it's up to you. It's up to you and how well you hold the brushes. I can already tell that I'm going to need my tinier brush. So that's okay. Just little by little, just remember that tree branches they grow upwards and outwards. And if you were to press down more lightly, you get thinner brush strokes, thinner branches. And if it seems to be a little bit harder to get those thin brush strokes, then that's okay. You can leave those branches alone and just jump to another part where there's thicker branches and just save those for later for when you have a smaller brush. Now let me go ahead and put this tree on the side here. That way you guys can see it. I have to squish it in here. That's better. That way you guys can see what it looks like. So I'm about this area. Some people find it easier to drag their paintbrush like this, drag it. But some people find it a little easier to sweep. Just depends on you and your brush. Little by little, stretching it out. Definitely need a smaller brush by this point. I do feel like I want to, for me, I don't know about you guys, but I want to make my tree trunk a little bit thicker. I like the fact that it's kind of bending a little bit. That wasn't intentional. I didn't mean to do that, but it looks like a very knotty tree. Honestly, I kind of like this part too, like the fact that it has like a little hole right here. Again, not intentional. That's just something that's coming out of this picture. Like very gnarly roots down here. Okay, definitely need to switch to another brush at this point, but I've gotten pretty far. It's good that it's good to have gnarly, like twisted knots, because we have a spooky tree. Now I'm going to just kind of set that brush in my water, and I want to move on to the smaller one. Don't know where that went. I don't know where the one I had went, but it's okay. I have another one. Another tiny brush.
Quite nice children.
Hmm.
Oh, my cats, sorry.
Oh, your cat. Where are my cats? Oh, hi, Cora. Oh, my little black cat's in here. It's perfect timing. Nice one, Cora.
She's such a sweet girl.
She's a sweet baby. That's another thing about Jax is that he doesn't like Cora. So yeah, she's been getting bullied a lot lately.
If you follow AnCan on Instagram, Hannah's cat Jax was featured as a celebrity star, influencer, if you will, in one of our videos. And we were
That's
talking
right.
about him before we went live. So
Yeah, that's why we're we're talking about it. He's the cat. He's usually very laid back, except for when he's mad at Cora.
he's a little jelly.
Yeah, she gets the special hypoallergenic food because she has allergies, so she needs special food in order to live and survive. And he doesn't like that she gets the special food.
Jealousy. My cat has special food because he's an old man and he has the kidney failure. So, but they're got a little kitten and they're fighting over there.
Ooh, yeah, see.
But play fighting.
Okay. I love watching the other cats play. Now it's nice to have tree branches that crisscross too. So don't be afraid to have these crisscrossing branches. Just nice to see that. Now that water will help to make it smoother. So right now I just I noticed that my paint, even though I have water in it, it's getting a little dry. Could use more water for these smaller brush strokes. So that helps a lot. There we go, crisscross. This is really fun. I'm actually happier with these branches than I am in the original. Now you can start on the next one at any point. So anytime you're ready, go ahead and start the next tree. So I will go ahead and just, I don't know, I guess verbalize everything else just so you can hear. Hear it again, how to make the tree. So you'll want to jump to the other side. I guess I don't need the original anymore. So this one's going to be on the opposite side. So for the trunk, I'll go back again with my larger round brush. So the next size up, this is a size 6, I believe. So again, I still want a little bit of water in my brush. I'm going to keep some of that water. I'm going to add that to my paint here. So the trunk is going to be thicker on the bottom. So I'll start here and just slowly work my way up. It's real easy to make it thicker. It's really hard to make it thinner, and you can't really do that. I'm going to make this one even more curvy than the last one. I'm really bending this tree. I want this tree to be gnarly. It's going to be like, these are both like thicker grandfather trees. Oops, I'm looking down my paint. Don't mind me. Okay, it gets thinner the further up you go. Eventually you'll want to make that Y shape once you get a little closer to the middle section of the painting. Oh, there's my other paintbrush. So I'll make this Y now. So start to move that out. Branches, they like to branch out, upwards and outwards. They get a little bit thinner the more you move out. And it's really nice to overlap these branches. It's also okay to even make like a third tree trunk in the middle of your Y. Like so many trees they never follow a formula, right? So it's okay to make another little mid-sized branch. And what I like to do whenever I'm holding my brush and making these kind of like gnarly looking branches, I like to twist the brush just a little bit in my fingers as I'm swiping it across. And that just kind of gives it a little extra gnarliness. Definitely gonna have to switch to my thin brush though. Laura, what are you doing? What are you doing, Cora? Okay, so let me get my thin brush again. Add some water to the paint. I want that water to help smooth everything out. Now you can add more and more branches I do want to move on to the next portions. So again, you can add more and more branches at a later point. I want to move on to the cauldron. So the cauldron, I guess I'll have to show you the original picture again. So that's what I'll start with down here. See how the cauldron, it's got a line at the top, and then I flare it out for the round part of the cauldron. So we'll start with that. And then we'll move on to our pumpkins, and we'll also move on to our cemetery. So you can complete this really in any order. We'll save the little the witch for later, for after all those things. We'll do the cauldron first, then we'll do the pumpkin silhouettes, and then we'll do the cemeteries. Yeah, the headstones. That's the word I'm looking for, headstones. So cauldron is going to be kind of in the center, but we want to leave some space for our witch. So just kind of off center. So I'm going to make a straight line for the rim of my cauldron. So it's kind of floating in space until I get some more paint and paint a rounded, like a circle, either a circle or some sort of tub shape, and then fill it in, paint it all in. We're painting nothing but silhouettes here. So it's all going to be black. Be sure to smooth it out too. Now I need to modify the rim of my cauldron. So I'm just kind of stretching it, and I want to fix it. There we go. And these are all very similar shapes. The pumpkin and the headstone, they're very similar shapes. They are rounded. So you can start any of those at any time. So the pumpkin, of course, whenever we do pumpkins, I like to stretch out one side, round it out, stretch out the other side, just with a little divot in the center for the stem to poke through. But these pumpkins, again, it's the silhouette. So we're just filling it in, and if you can't see the whole pumpkin, then that's fine. It's sticking out of the ground and it's living its life as a pumpkin. See that? You can make a little pumpkin friend right next to it. Do as many pumpkins as you like. Maybe this one is taller. And again, I'm starting off with a divot in the center. And then making that overall shape first. Filling it in. Pumpkins, of course, they have the stems in the middle, and then they also have some vines sticking out. The vines, those are really fun because they make really nice silhouettes. So here's the original. You guys kind of see that? So the vines, they're just swirly lines. So you can do that at any time. So I can make maybe the vine stick up first. Maybe that's the center. Also, I'm sorry, the center of it first, and then it turns into a vine. And again, this is where that water mixed with your black paint really comes in handy, because you can press down lightly and get some thinner lines. But it works best when you have that water mixed in with it. See how I came up from the center, and I'm just making a squiggly line that trails down. I can even do it on the other side. So the other pumpkin has its own little stem and then a vine connected to it. So I'm just Making a happy little pumpkin, swirling around. I really love the way it looks where it sticks up. I can make another, I don't know, random little vine kind of curling down. Make as many vines as you want. As long as you smooth them out, you're good. Cute little pumpkin vines there. Oh, Cora. Sorry, Cora's like stepping on my keyboard. Huh. What are you doing, Cora? How are you guys doing? Forget to breathe. You guys got this. The headstones are very similar shape. They're just arches that stick up from the ground. So where's the original? Cora, you're sitting on the original. Hey, baby. Watch out. Okay, the original. See that? I even have a one that's leaning down. Hasn't really been taken care of over the years. Very old graveyard. But we always want to start with just arches sticking up, small arches. So for me, I have all these roots over here. So maybe I'll just squeeze in one or two headstones. So right up here, just an arch. I don't know. I guess I'll have to put that in. Now, not all headstones are plain. As you can see, I made little embellishments, like just little extra pieces of stone that were put on top of the headstones. It's kind of hard to see that. So if you want, you can maybe put like a square-ish shape on top, or maybe another arch on top. I don't really know what shape I was going for when I did this one. I'm trying to do that one right here. So square-ish shape, and then another little dome right on top of that. I didn't actually look at any pictures of headstones.
Hannah,
Uh-huh.
my daughter needs to go to bed because it's like 9:30 here. Is there any way she can share her pictures? She wants to share it with you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I would love to see it. Cora, what are you doing?
Basically, I rushed a little bit because like I had
Ooh, that's you rushing? That's so
That
good.
does not look like rushing. That looks
I
like
love it.
artistry.
I love that they're having a conversation.
yeah.
They are
What's that hanging?
plotting, scheming.
There's
What's
like
that hanging from the tree? Is there something hanging from it?
there's like lanterns and vines.
That's a lantern. I love it.
This
You
is
did
Very
really
nice.
good.
this is actually a gift for my friend that I'm visiting.
Oh,
That is awesome. Your friend's gonna love it.
oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. I
Thank you,
appreciate it. Thanks for
Courageous.
showing. I
Excellent.
love it. Ooh, before my computer falls asleep, let me plug it in. All right. So you're welcome to put a cross at the top if you want to like embellish it a bit more. You can put a cross on top of it. Don't have to though. Let's see. I think I'm good just with the one grave. Let's do some bats. Let's do some bats. I'm gonna add a bit more water to my things. So I want to show you the shape of the bat. So we'll start off with an oval in the center, and then we'll add tiny little ears sticking up for the oval, and then we'll make the shape of the wing after that. I actually studied bats, like how to draw bats when I was younger. I love Halloween. Okay, so we'll start with an oval for the body. So your bat can go anywhere, but there's my oval. And then tiny little wings sticking up. So just kind of put them in there as best as you can. Then for the wings, I always like to start with the top of the wings. So kind of like the arms. So the arms of the wings, they're kind of like that. And then they have like a flap of skin that comes down. So I like to start with the bones, the arms first. So goes like that. So I guess it's like an inverted elbow. It's like if my elbow was like this. If my elbow was naturally just like this, that's what it would look like. So on both sides, we want to stretch it out. Inverted elbows. Like that. And then let's say your inverted elbow, let's say you had like 2 bones sticking out from the center from your elbow. That's what we're going to draw next. So we start here. We have 2 lines sticking out from the center. There. Now that's just a guideline. Now you don't like they don't need to be like nice looking lines. It's just a guideline. Is it 2 lines? I don't remember if it's 2 lines or 1. I don't know. I think some lines have. Anyway, I'm just talking to myself, thinking out loud. We'll do the same thing on the other side. 2 lines sticking out. And then from there, we'll just make that flap of skin that it's an arch shape. So you start from the body and you make an arch to the next line. And then from there, make an arch to the next line. From there, make an arch to the next line. Like that. So I'll repeat for the other side. From the body, you make an arch to the line. See that? And then from the next line, you make another arch in between. Make an arch line. And then from there, you make another arch line. Make another arch from the line. From the line to that very first arm. And then you just fill it in. So those 2 lines we drew in the middle, that was just like a literal skeleton. So you just fill it all in, and that's it. Now I will do another bat. That way you guys can see it all done again and listen to it. So I'll do another one right over here. Again, we'll start with an oval for the center. So got my oval. Maybe I'll make this bat a little bit bigger. And then the oval is going to have some ears sticking out. I'll move this a little bit so it's easier. So the oval has some ears, so I'm going to have them pointing out. There we go. And then we want to draw the arms next. So the arms, again, are kind of like an inverted elbow or like an upside down elbow. So I'm going to make this line. That's the forearm to the elbow. And then the elbow to the hands at the end. And again, I'm actually going to stretch this. I want this to be a long wingspan. Okay, so now I'm going to do elbow, and then from elbow to hand. Inverted elbow. Okay, and then from the middle of the elbow there, you're going to have two lines. So two lines just kind of sticking out like that. Almost like a triangle. So it's from the elbow, two lines sticking out. They don't have to be nice, fancy lines, because we're going to make some arches. So this first arch is going to reach the body to that first line, like that. And then from that line to the next line, make another arch. And then from that line to the end, make another arch. Then you can just fill it in. And now the other arm, going to be an arch from the body to that first line, and then an arch from that line to the second line, and then another arch from that line to the hand, and then fill it all in. There you have your bat. Little bats. They're so cute. All right. Next, give you guys a moment. I know I mentioned an owl, but maybe I'll do the owl in like later if we still have a few more minutes. I'll give you guys a moment, because we'll do the witch next. Now I'll guide you through little by little for the witch. So we'll start with the head, then we'll go and we'll make the hat, and then we'll move on down to make the body, and then we'll make the arms stretching up, and then the hair. But it all starts with the head. While you guys are finishing that up, I'm gonna let the cat out of the room. Cora. Wanna go out, Cora? Come on, baby. Do you wanna go out? Can you open the door? All right, I'm back. All right, y'all, let's make a witch. I will get some more of my paint. Again, keep in mind the fact that it's a lot easier to make things bigger. Can't really make them smaller. So when I make the head, I'll start out small, make a small head, and I can always make it bigger later depending on how the body goes, or depending on how depending on how the hat goes. So I can always make it bigger after those things are added. So I want to give her some space. So the head will be here, because this is how tall my witch is going to be. She's going to be about this tall. So figure out where she's going to be standing. So she's going to be standing right in the middle here, in between the cauldron and the headstone. So she's going to be about this tall I'm going to make a circle. But again, I can always modify the circle depending on how the body goes and depending on how the hat goes. So for the body, she's wearing a long, flowy, witchy dress. So we know that she's kind of like swaying to the side. So we're not even going to bother drawing a neck or anything specific. We're just going to make the silhouette of a long, flowy dress. It's going to look really funny right now. Like we know she's kind of, let me show you the original picture. She's kind of swaying in the wind a little bit. So I'm going to modify her swaying. Maybe she's like reaching out this way. I'm not going to worry about her hair right now. This is just the basics. I know she's swaying that way. So her dress is flowing out over here. Again, it's a silhouette, so I'm just going to fill it all in. The head will definitely get bigger because she's still got a full head of hair too. So the hair will definitely make her head look bigger. Now I need more black paint. I don't need too much more. I'm gonna add a little water to my paint. There we go. Okay. Now let's draw the next recognizable thing, the hat. So the hat has a nice wide brim. A wide brim, so I have one line that I can draw going across, and then a triangle on top of that. So a line going across. It's probably going to get even wider, so just keep that in mind. Nice wide line, brimmed hat, and then a triangle. She's a witch. And it's a tall hat, so this can be a tall triangle. Now you can leave it as is, or you can have it kind of curve up like this one. This one kind of curves. So maybe I'll have mine curve the other way. I'm just going to add a little curvy portion that attaches to the top. See, already I love my hat. Just add this little portion that just kind of, it's almost like this, like a little flap that just kind of hangs or curls down or falls down because of gravity. And if you need to modify the hat a little bit to be a little bigger, that's okay. And we won't draw the hair just yet. I want to make some room for the arms. So as you can see, the arms, they curve up because she's chanting to the moon. We're not going to worry about anatomical correctness here, meaning we're not going to draw any shoulders. They're just going to be like floppy arms that move up. So a wide, like that, stretches up. So there's the right arm stretching up. There's the left arm stretching out the other way. I'm going to make them a little bit thicker at the ends. And again, we're not worrying about anatomical correctness. I'm not going to draw the hands. I'm not going to draw any elbows. She's perfect the way she is. She kind of looks like she has a beard, though. like a little, I don't know if you guys see that little fluffiness sticking down. It's a beard. And then for the hair, of course, we start off with the long portion. You see that long portion stretching down, and then just kind of have it flapping in the wind. You can have it curling a little bit, little by little, just kind of fill in this area. Long, flowy hair. There we go. I think there's a lot more wind in this picture than in the original. That is it for our little witchy. Now, I promised an alien, okay? I'll show you, since I have black on my brush anyway, I'll show you how to do an alien. And then I'll get you guys started on the orbs and the fire in the middle. So if you want an alien, here's what you do. Pick a spot for your little alien. This is one of my favorite pictures I've done in a while. It's fun. Okay, so I don't know, maybe I'll have my alien up here. So I always like to start in the center. So the saucer part of flying saucer. So I'll have it up here. This is a center line. And it's just a line because from there, I'm going to sort of like stretch out the middle. Like it's almost like a deflated football. Like it's kind of thicker in the middle, thin at the end. It's supposed to be thin at the end. My brush isn't cooperating. So it's thicker in the middle, thinner at the end, like that. Deflated football. And you can leave it as is if you want, or you can add like that little round top if you want it to be more of like a Roswell classic kind of UFO. There we go. No, I'm just making it a little bit bigger. But yes, there you have it. There is an alien. She's communing with the alien visitors. Okay. So the orbs and the fire. Now the orbs I think are the easiest. They will take some time, so we're not gonna have time to fill out all of the orbs, but pick 2 colors, or you can use 3, as many as you want, honestly, but 1 color at a time. So I like to stamp them first with one of my brushes. So I'll use this one here. So I know I mentioned I really liked the green, so let me go ahead and pour a little bit of green out. We're not going to need a lot because they're just little dots. A little goes a long way. So I just have a tiny amount. And I'll start off by maybe dotting some. See that? Literally just flip the brush over to the other end and then literally just dot, dot, dot. So again, they take a while. Drives me crazy. But I love the way they look. You know, so it's worth it. But every once in a while, it's nice to have an orb. So I'm gonna pick a dot, any dot, and I'll use my finger and just sort of like smush it in. See that? Maybe I'll choose this one. Smush it. So I'm rounding it out, smushing it out. So it's nice to have those dispersed, you know, everywhere. Some orbs, some dots. Some of them spread out, some of them maybe in clusters. Maybe they're all fairy friends hanging out.
They look like little fireflies.
Yeah, see, they could be little fireflies. I will put some pink ones out, but they're everywhere. So they can, like, you can have them overlapping the witch, cemetery, everything. So there's that. You'll want to do that with 2 colors, okay? And again, that will take a while. You can use your finger to spread it out. Or in theory, I feel like you could use a Q-tip. Let's see if I can try it. The Q-tip might have to be like a large orb. I don't know. Let me try it out. I found 1 Q-tip here. So I'll try it out right here. So there's my dot. Here's a Q-tip. Yeah, actually that works really nicely. That's pretty nice. All right. Well, now we know a Q-tip will work. That's not bad. Okay. So Q-tip or finger. Do that with all of your orb colors. So next thing is going to be the fire that spits out of the cauldron. Sparks, fire, whatever you want to call it. So you'll take your orb colors, okay? These are your orb colors. And you want to take your tiniest brush, smallest brush, and let me show you the original. They're all spewing out from the cauldron. So I'm going to start somewhere in the middle here. We're going to layer them. And they're a little bit thicker at the top of the brush stroke. So I'm going to start by squishing down just a little squish and just dragging it down. Squish and drag. Squish and drag. It's a little bit closer so you guys can see it a little better. There we go. Hopefully that's better. So now squish and drag it. It's like it's originating from the center of the cauldron. So I'm dragging it towards the cauldron. So I'm saving some space for my other color because I want my other color to fit in there. Maybe I'll do like 1 more at the top here. Okay, 2 more. I lied. 2 more. Where are my neon colors? Just had them earlier. Oh, here they are. Always right in front of me, and yet I can never find it. Okay, so that was with my green. Again, it's my orb colors. So now I have my little bit of hot pink. Only need a little bit. And it's the same thing, same process. So I'll take my tiniest brush and do more of those same streaks. So squish and drag. 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 You don't have to sing a little song like I did, but you can. Whoops. So those will be also my neon orbs. So I'll just throw in a few neon orbs in there, then we'll open the floor. Now, if I had a UV light, would have been cool to show you guys like what the neon colors look like under the neon light. They glow. All right. Now, who wants to be the first to show off their work?
It's fine.
Yeah. There you are, Sharon. Oh, I love her.
Oh my
She's so
goodness.
cute. I know. There she is. And your bats look really good too.
And the
And the
pot.
and the pumpkins too. Like
Thank you.
I love the vines. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you. Have fun.
Love,
Wonderful work.
lovely,
They're lovely.
beautiful. Who
Who
else
is
would like to
next?
show?
Oh, JP's up.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, there it is. You did the owl. I love it. I love I see your flying saucer. I see
of
you've
course.
perfected it. I love that you've perfected your signature flying saucer.
Now, is that an
It looks like a
alien
wig.
in there?
And bats. If you squint.
What looks like an alien? I mean, what looks like bats? Because I see bats.
Can you turn your audio down? If you squint, it looks like the bats. I just could not do the bats. They look like hawks.
Really? I feel like since you mentioned hawks, the one on the right I can see as a hawk, but the one on the left definitely looks like a bat.
No, they look like bats. Like I
Yeah.
saw them, I'm like, those are bats.
You must be squinting.
I got my
see.
I got my eyes wide open. So
Okay.
I like that you have a green glow around the moon.
Yeah.
Good choice. Good choice. Thank you, JP.
thank you.
Thank
And
you
we
very
now have
much.
Laurel.
Beautiful. Ooh, look at her
And a kitty
dress.
cat.
Oh yeah, and the kitty cat. Oh, so
I have a
cute.
cat, and then my owl is sad.
He looks like he's sitting on the branch, like he has
Yeah,
two
he's
little
chilling.
feet. Yeah, he's chilling.
I need to put more bats in, and probably more pumpkins and tombstones.
Yeah, definitely.
And my witch got like attitude. She's supposed to have her hand on her hip.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see her hand on her
Sassy.
hip like that. I love her. I love her broom. That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love her.
Love it.
Good job, Laurel. Thank
Perfect.
you.
Thank you.
Karen, are you taking pictures? Oh, here
my
we go,
gosh,
Tia.
Tia.
Tia, look at her. Aw, she's so pretty. I
Ooh.
love the curly hat that she has.
Yeah.
Your bats, and your bats turned out really nice too.
Thanks for teaching me how to make bats. I was so excited.
I used to practice them all the time.
Love it. I used like a neon paint, but it didn't come out super good, the orbs. I'm gonna have to come back with a
Okay.
stronger
Yeah.
color.
Yeah, sometimes they don't show up, but yeah, come back with more. Your trees though look fabulous too.
It's very
Yeah.
spooky.
Yeah,
It is
yeah, they
super
have that
spooky.
spooky feel. Thank you, Tia.
Thank you, Tia. Great
you.
job. Marianne, I'm
pretty.
coming.
Oh, and I love the background too.
Oh
Yay,
my
Mary
gosh.
Ann, look at them.
Ooh.
I love the fact that you put your orbs in the trees too, like further up. I feel like that really brings it together with more magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah, no, I just kept adding more and more.
yeah, honestly, that was a great idea. And I love like the way the tree came out. And your little bats.
Yeah.
Your little bats actually look like they have hats on them. There's something about it. They look so cute with like the little hats on.
Well,
I
thank
love
you.
your pumpkins. The pumpkins look
Yeah.
great.
Same,
Oh.
yeah. Yeah,
Well,
they look really good.
I learned a lot. Thank you. This was
Yeah.
Great job.
great fun.
Thanks, Marianne.
Thank you, Marianne.
These are so cute. These are so
Ooh,
good.
I'm so excited to see how the small one turned out.
Sandra.
Yeah, I think it was a little hard to do the small one, especially with my bats. Like,
But you did great.
Seriously,
they
like
were just weren't cooperating.
the bats, they still look really good though, and even the cross, like that's the one that's what caught my eye because I know how small you're working.
Yeah.
Like I
I
know
was
how
like,
Very
small
good
you're
detail.
I should
yeah,
have gone with bigger, but
that's okay. Now at least you know how to get it started, like with the bigger one if you want to do that. But
yes.
but it still looks really cute.
It looked
It
really
still turned
hard
out
at
really
first. I'm
good.
like, I'm not gonna be able to do this, but
You
you're
did
awesome.
great.
You're
You
awesome
did
at
it.
explaining it away. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad you
Great
understood
work.
it. Oh, Marcy, look at
See,
you.
Marcy turned out great.
She's got some
And
sass
you
too.
got a UFO.
I know.
I failed on the bats.
You do no,
No,
you did
you
not
didn't.
fail.
They're great.
No, they look so good. It even looks like the one on the left, like his wings are actually like in motion, pointing
Yes.
downward. That's what I love about that one.
Yeah, they have different flight directions, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, like they look like they're actually in motion. So that's really good. You did really great on it. And you have another one right over there in the corner. I love that little guy too.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you did so good.
It was a challenge.
I love the hands too. The fact that you actually put the
Yes.
fingers in there. Like
Oh,
that must have been hard.
no, that's because my brush split.
Oh, it split?
Yeah, so my
Oh,
lines, my
okay.
brush kept splitting, and so a lot of the small is all, the brushes were splitting,
Okay. Okay. Well, turn.
and I'm working with shaking and with one eye, so it was kind of hard. Yeah,
Shaking with one eye, you did great.
thank you.
Like a song, shaken with one eye.
Yeah, I
Yes.
should write that song.
Taken with one
I'm glad you showed me you see how it blended in the moon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the moon.
Great.
Mhm.
Showed me how to do that. I really like
Good.
the way that, you blended it in, like it sort of mixed in together.
Good. It did turn out really good. Like the fact that you went over that it wasn't even a harsh line, but the fact that you actually successfully covered it up is great.
Did you find my spaceship?
Yes, I see your little spaceship
Yes,
and
of
it's got little
course.
windows.
It's lit up.
It's all lit up, ready for Halloween. Thank you, Marcy.
Thank you, Marcy.
For helping me with that
Yeah, of
blending.
course.
I used to be so good with the blending, and that seems to be my struggle now. Yeah.
Takes a bit, but you did really well with the balancing though. It's all a balancing act.
Thank you.
Beautiful, guys.
Anna Marie, I think are you trying to share? Yes, okay, I'm coming. I see you.
Yay, there you are.
You're not blurry anymore.
I guess, yeah, find a
Okay,
mute
here we
button.
go.
There we go. There we
Oh
go.
my goodness, there's some glow in there.
I know, that's some magic spewing out too. I love that. I love your pumpkins too. Like I feel like your pumpkins have personality.
Well, I didn't want to like make them complete silhouettes, so I kind of like left a little.
I was wondering, yeah, like I
Yeah.
can see the texture.
Right.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Thanks.
I'm loving your bats too.
Oh,
And the
I think
colors
they're a
you
They're so
little
chose.
too big for the scene, but
well, it's okay. It's
gotta work on
Halloween.
them.
Halloween. It's demon bats.
Yes, oversized.
Yeah. But the glow looks really nice too. I love the fact that it's very contrasted. Like it's very, very dark on the outside, and of course, very, very light and angelic in the middle. Just the contrast is really nice.
Oh, thank you. I didn't think I had gotten the blending down, but
Oh, okay. No, the contrast is really good. It actually looks like I'm looking through a portal because it's like
Oh yes,
like
great
the
way to put
beginning of the
that.
the beginning of the portal where you see the harsher
oh
line
yeah.
on the bottom, but then it swirls and blends in with the two worlds as it gets
Mhm.
closer to the left side. That's what I see. I
Yes.
see a whole story now.
Well, thanks a lot. This was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thank you, Anna
Excellent.
Marie.
Thank
Is
you.
there anyone who else would like to share?
How you doing, Karen? You feeling all right? You gonna finish it later?
I don't even know.
Okay.
All right. If there's no one else who'd like to share, can the puppers come?
Puppies. Oh, can I make one
Oh, yes.
announcement?
Yes. All the puppers can come.
Yes. I'll get the puppies. I sent that after class survey. I did put at the bottom some like specific class project ideas for next month and for December. So I'll if you guys are able to do that survey, those are specific projects. So just if you can do that, that'll be amazing. Give me an idea of what to do. And if you don't like any of them, just type it in
If
at the
you want to
bottom.
do these puppies, we can also do them too, you know?
Puppies, yes.
Sit down.
There we go.
Yeah.
Aw.
Good puppies.
Oh, they're so tired.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for your service, puppy. Thank you.
Cute
Where's the squirrel?
babies.
Where's the squirrels?
Oh,
Squirrels.
I
Squirrels.
love them.
Squirrels.
Squirrels. Is that their toys?
They're looking for
Babies.
squirrels.
Oh,
It's
they love
nighttime,
real
buddy.
squirrels.
Oh, real squirrels. That's funny there.
They're like, oh my gosh, real squirrels.
Where's the survey at? The
I
survey?
do that. I tell them squirrels just to wake them up sometimes.
I sent the survey at in the last email I sent. Yeah, it's the 1 hour email. Yeah, it's
Ooh,
there.
Say hi.
Babies.
Any more
Why
announcements,
did
Hannah?
nobody? Why?
No, that's it. I hope y'all have a happy Halloween.
Yes, and thank you,
too.
puppers.
Indeed, yes.
Sit down.
Babies.
Sit.
Thank you, everyone. Good night, and
Thanks
we
a
will see you
lot.
next
Have a good night.
month.
Happy
Thank
Halloween.
you. Good
Night.
night.
Good
Send them
night.
in to me, please. Please.